Okay, so we are about to take these out to the smokehouse, which I'll show you in a bit. These have all been Katie's coiled these all. These are Italian or Mennonite?
Polish.
Oh, Polish. These are Polish sausages. She's doing some Mennonite, and then we have ours is an Italian, well, a hybrid Italian sausage. Comes from wonderful pork we got from the Hutterites. Awesome pork. Nice fat to meat ratio is perfect. Well done. Anyway, you're doing all in the smokehouse. I'll set the fire here shortly, and then we got a bunch of chips that we had some birch I got from a really good friend of mine, Leo, who lives in Scapa, which is in Alberta. And so I fell out a big tree he wanted to have knocked down that was hanging close to his house in his garden. And he said, you can have it, which was nice birch. So we cut a bunch of slabs. We planed them in our planer to give us our chips. Worked out really good. And like I said, I'm getting the fire going now, the starting fire. We'll show you later on out at the smokehouse. Getting the starting fire going, get up a good hot base of coals, and then I'll start putting on wet birch chips on top of that to start our smoke. And then we smoke sausages. So anyway, here they are, as you've seen. Looking great, smell great. And I've already tasted at least our Italian. When I make my sausage up, I always do a sample before I finish spicing it to make sure it's what I want. Although it will change a bit just from being able to meld together, sitting for at least a 24-hour period, and then into the smoker. And the smoker will bring out those different spices and flavors even more. But it was awesome, awesome. So I'm excited about how this is going to turn out. Sad story. Last time we did this, we had an old freezer that it was still working, but an old freezer we had it outside. In the wintertime, I thought, well, we just throw it in there. It's cold enough, it's going to stay frozen. And we put about probably 45, 50 pounds of finished sausage in the freezer. It was an old freezer, and the lid didn't sit properly, so I grabbed the pail that was just sitting there. I thought it had water in it. I threw it on top of the door to keep it down, and it wasn't water, and it leaked. It was diesel. And it leaked slowly until it got into the freezer and contaminated all our beautiful sausage. And if you would have seen what we used for a smoker the last time I posted up 2 years ago, you would have seen that was our sausage that we made. It was beautiful, except for diesel and sausage spices just don't work. So unfortunately, we had to basically toss the really good munts, and the dog even ate some of them, but it was sad. This ain't happening this year. We got a brand new 25 cubic foot freezer out there that is working great undercover, and I'm not putting any lids on top because the lid closes properly. Anyway, long story short, we'll let you know what's going on later on. Cheers. Okay, so we're almost ready to put the sausages in, and this is our smokehouse. Used to be our power shed, but we changed our whole solar system around, as you can see over there, and the power shed is going to be in the carport area now. So anyway, this is our door, real simple. I'm going to put a latch on it. I got to go to town tomorrow and do some stuff, so I'll grab a latch for it. But this is all it's going to be now. But you can see, we've started the fire. And what we're going to have in here, we got 3 racks. We're going to do our stuff, other than the hams will be hanging, but our sausages, we'll lay our coils out on top of these here, and that's what works just fine. To do our smoke, you're trimming us to do our batch on these 3 different set of shells. Use an old barrel, half barrel we use for a outdoor barbecue, which we have another one already set up, but we start the fire on just some pine. Get some good hot base under it. We've planed a bunch of, as I mentioned before, a bunch of nice birch I got from a good buddy of mine. And we'll wet those down once we get a good hot base of coals. We'll bring in our sausages, get them all lined up, and then I'll just throw on batches of wet birch shavings. And just try to keep the smoke at the level I want it to be at. And the heat, there won't be a lot of heat in here. It's kind of got the top end with the metal roof. But I don't want the heat to get over about 120 to 125 degrees. As far as temperature in here, that's about as hot as I want. A touch more maybe be alright, but I don't want to get into that. Much hotter than that. I don't want to cook the sausages, I want to cure them. We'll cook them later on. Anyway, so fire goes going, we'll get it down to a good base. Bring out our sausages, throw them on the rack. I'll probably actually put some chips down beforehand to get smoke going. And then close it back up. Check on it probably every hour and a half, make sure I get good smoke coming on and not get the fire get too cold. We may have to at times cut small shavings and just... Okay, getting ready to close up. My camera doesn't fall over. Like I said, I gotta get my little latch for this yet, but just now, at the next stage, which is close it in. I'll hold it close, and I'll come out and check that in about probably half an hour, 20 minutes, 45 minutes, and then maybe feed it more wet shavings in there, and see how it goes. So the first batch, there's still 2 more levels of sausage to go in, but this is just a start. Anyway, see how it goes.